This episode of SpectreSoundStudios is brought to you by Nail the Mix. Refine your mixing skills with world-class recording engineers for only $19.99 a month.
Hey everybody, welcome to SMG Viewers Comments. We're just on the road back from Toronto. Had a hell of a weekend hanging out with Rob Scallon at Bufferfest. Got to see a lot of really cool stuff. And yeah, it was just a wonderful time hanging out in Toronto. We got to go for dinner with Mike Wisniuk, who's up there as well. You guys remember him. He's shot a lot of stuff with us, and he's played drums on quite a number of demos over the last little while. He'll be back down in the studio in a few weeks. Anyway, let's get right to it.
Hey Glenn, note from a scientific engineer, the deciding factor between plugins and real gear is speed. The speed of a transformer in a Class A circuit will always trump a signal path that has to be ingested, decimation filtered, routed to a front-side bus, allocated to RAM, processed via a flawed set of instructions, aliased to linear math when audio electricity is logarithmic. A-class gear, a real representation of the signal until you record digitally. Computers will always be flat writing tools unless you deal in logarithmic formats like DSD.
I think that's a fantastic point, you know, and that's one of the reasons I used SAW Studio for so long, because it was written in machine code. There wasn't a huge translation layer in the way of the code, so it was a much faster DAW than what else was around back in 2003. And, you know, I really enjoyed SAW Studio, and I used it for years and years and years and years. The only reason I switched over to Reaper, just got tired of staring at the same screen for 10 years. And I felt I was getting stale, and I was ready for a challenge. I was ready to learn something new. I think you've got a great point about speed. And that's something, you know, you won't see too many plugin companies talking about, though. They're still recreations. They're still not the real thing, and they're still not quite there yet. Like I said, I think the speed thing says an awful lot about the difference between what's real and what's just a simulation. That being said, you brought up a great point about DSD, which is direct stream digital. And I remember reading a lot about that in the late 90s and early 2000s. But it was going to be like mission impossible to do a DSD DAW. And here we are in 2016. I'm wondering, does a DSD DAW exist? And has anybody actually tried recording one? And if so, what kind of interface can you get for that? Because that sounded very, very promising. I mean, like DSD, a lot of people were saying it was very, very close to how analog sounds. So I'm very curious to see where the technology's gone there. And I think if there's going to be any kind of a revolution in digital audio, it's going to be on the DSD front.
Hey Glenn, I've been looking into buying a house recently, and I was wondering what you think I should look for in regards to setting up a decent home studio. Obviously, anything will need some treatment, but I was just curious about what sort of base to build on. I found a 120-year-old church near Ingersoll that was surprisingly within my price range, but unfortunately, I think the renovations to have it zoned as a residence would put it well over my limit.
You know, I met an artist who lived in Alvinston, Ontario, who converted a church into like an art studio / residence. So I don't know, you know, you're best off maybe hitting up the town hall and finding out, you know, if it even can be zoned as residential, and if so, yeah, find out exactly what kind of steps you're going to have to take to make that happen. Because maybe in a smaller town like Ingersoll, it might not be that difficult, because they probably do want to get people to live there. So I don't think they're going to try and stand in your way that much. I'd be more concerned with you know, noise leakage and that kind of thing, and making sure you get the building sealed up correctly. That being said, if you can't find a favorable way to make the church happen, you can always do what I did and find a house with a freestanding building. I mean, like, we had a 2-car block garage that we converted into a studio. It's tight, but it's cozy, and it's pretty damn quiet. You know, you can look for houses like maybe an old, like a farmhouse or something with some outbuildings, or a pole barn or something like that. You can have a lot of luck with.
Glenn, please, I need your help. I am begging you. I got this band going one. We play some kind of stonerish rock thing and have this amazingly talented guy singing for us, but he's literally fucking up every practice. Every practice, he's blocking progress by doing crazy shit, pissing everyone off, and literally leading us to demise. He has even managed to get the calmest person in the band to a nervous breakdown because of his shit. The fucking bassist and drummer are smarter many times than that twat. So I wanted to ask you for tips how to channel his energy of chaos causing into his talent and into making actual progress, because firing that dude is like throwing out a rare diamond in the trash. If you have some tips, do share. You'll have saved us a lot. Thank you. Oh, keep it up with the videos. I love them.
Yeah, fire his ass. Seriously, get rid of the dumb motherfucker. You don't need that kind of aggravation. Life's too fucking short. He might be a great singer. He might have a good voice, but you know what? He's not a great singer if he's fucking everybody up like that. He might have a wonderful voice that's great to listen to, but if you can't stand being around him the 99% of the time he's not singing, what's the fucking point? You know, part of being a great band isn't just being a great performer. You've got to be a great person and be able to relate with the rest of the people in your band. If he's causing you that much trouble, he's not fucking worth it. Dump him. Or at least just play him this. Hey, asshole! Smarten up!
Hey Glenn, I was wondering if the hi-hat's high placement was because of the drummer prefers it that way, or if that gives for a better sound quality due to the hi-hat not bleeding into the snare mic. And if the distance between the hi-hat and the snare drum are your choice, then would I like to know what you would do if a drummer wanted them way closer because of comfort?
In the case of the video you're talking about, that's TJ's choice. He likes his hi-hats up really, really high. In most drummers' case, if they want them a little lower, okay, that's fine. But generally, the snare mic is the most important mic on the entire drum set. So if a drummer starts whining about comfort and whatnot, I tell him to stop being such a fucking pussy and play like the professional he told me he was. Generally, if your hi-hat's way too close to your snare, you're going to run into all kinds of bleed issues. So a little bit of physical separation goes a long way. The more you break your kit up, the better it's going to record. My suggestion to the guys who are whining, oh, but I like my stuff closely together, is break your kit up at home and start learning how to play with a little bit more of a stretch, because your recording's going to wind up sounding better.
Hey guys, just going to take a quick minute here to talk about this week's sponsor, Nail the Mix. Now, I've been a big fan of Nail the Mix for quite some time, and I'm always proud to have them sponsor the show because I truly believe in what these guys do. It's an online recording school run by Joey Sturgis, Joel Wanasek, and Ale Levy. Each month, you get a set of multi-tracks to mix, the mixes are reviewed, and the person with the best mix wins something extremely cool. They also have a month-end video where one of the guys or a guest mixer mixes the song and takes you through it step by step. And I'll tell you, I have picked up a lot of great tips from this. So this month, they've got guest mixer Kane Churko, and the song will be Fear, Face Everything and Rise from Papa Roach. First prize for this month is a McDST Emerald Pack V6 and a 1-year Slate Everything bundle. Second prize is McDSP Classic Pack V6. There is a ton of cool stuff in here, and if you want to get better at mixing, it's definitely worth checking out. All right, back to the show.
Glenn, you have to review AmpliTube 4. Just got the demo today, and it sounds badass.
Okay, cool. I will throw that on the list. I will contact the guys at AmpliTube and see if I can get my hands on a copy. Sure, I'm always about checking out new software and whatnot. I'd love to take a look.
Sounds like the bassist on Talk Bass basically hit the nail on the head, man. Quit your bitching. F you for talking shit on bassists and talk bassists. The guitars greatly outnumber the bass tards. I've heard enough.
Oh no, Butthurst bass player writes nasty comment on my YouTube video. Whatever will I do? Probably sell more shirts. Thanks, asshole.
Hey Glenn, what made you want to be an engineer?
Seeing my friends play guitar better than me. No, seriously, if I can think of one point, it would be probably my second year of college. I was taking a bunch of different media courses, and it was media arts, and we were working on a music video actually, and that's what I initially wanted to do, was direct music videos. And we recorded a song for this music video we were working on, and I got a chance to sit behind the mixer board, and it was just kind of one of those things where everything kind of fell into place. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I can do this. So, you know, it got started there. That's what really lit a fire under my ass and made me want to do this. But then again, if 46-year-old me could talk to 20-year-old me, I'd be like, learn computer science, you fucking idiot.
Do people really bring their GFs in the studio?
Yes, they do. Even when you tell them not to bring their girlfriends to the studio, they still bring them. Oh, it'll be okay. No, it's not! Seriously though, and that is the other true thing, is we don't have enough seats in the studio for that exact reason. People have brought their girlfriends to the studio and we have made them sit on the floor and then they never come back. It is the best solution ever. Seriously guys, if you're ever thinking about opening up your own studio, don't put a couch in the studio. Have limited seating available. Trust me, the girlfriends will never come back. It's the best situation ever. You don't even have to say anything.
Hey Glenn, it might have been asked already, but do you have any tips and or quick lessons on how to get the best sound possible at a gig when the sound guy the venue provided sucks ass? And I, as a beginner and a drummer that barely counts to 4, don't know quite yet how to work the soundboard to be able to do better than the shitty sound guy. If you see this, thanks in advance and love your vids.
Well, this is just stupid.
Yeah, hire somebody, you cheap fuck! I mean, I don't know how many bands I've had come into the studio. Oh yeah, we had a great show last night, but the sound sucked. Did you hire somebody? No. What the fuck do you expect? You know, fuck, the bar's gonna provide a decent fucking competent sound man? Yeah, good luck. You know, chances are the guys running the sound are the guys running the lights too, and they just don't give a fuck about your band. You want somebody to give about your band? Hire them. They will give a fuck about your band. Next.
Aston Mics? If not, you have to check them out. Fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, you know, I saw him at AES, and I saw Robert Rosen had one in his studio as well. I've heard a lot of good things about him. Definitely want to check him out at some point. But yeah, we'll definitely see about getting some into the studio at some point in the future, because it definitely looks like they're worth taking a look at.
What advice would you give to a young beginner guitarist that is very passionate about music but feels they are not progressing? Love your vids, man. By the way, new metal sound is good if it's got an original sound.
Practice your ass off. Practice with other musicians. Get together with some other guitar players. You know, that can always help. Just have somebody to bounce ideas off of. Even go check out some stuff that's not in your preferred genre. Maybe you can pick up something cool that way. I mean, like when it came to drum recording, I picked up some really cool tips off Tommy Harden, who was Reba McEntire's drummer. And he had some wonderful studio tips. But I mean, like, there you go, Nashville session guy. Not metal at all, but, you know, just take whatever advice you can get, no matter the source. The other thing is, you know, take a week off from playing guitar and come back to it, you know, because maybe clearing your head out and coming back with a clean slate can really help get the ideas flowing as well. I mean, like, when I'm mixing, if I'm in too deep, I have the hardest time ever is pulling away from a mix. But it's like, usually if I go sleep it off, come back the next day, I go, oh, okay, I can fix that, no problem. I've got this. But knowing when to walk away, that's the real trick.
Hi, Glenn. I have a question. What is the #1 piece of equipment that all bass players should have besides new strings and the ability to grow some balls? Keep up the good work.
I think the most important thing for a bass player isn't the bass he's playing or the amp or even his new strings. You know what he needs more than anything is a functioning brain. That's the most important piece of equipment. You know, knowing the songs, knowing the arrangements, knowing how to tie your shoes, knowing when to show up at gigs, knowing how to read a map to be able to get to those gigs. Those are all very, very important things. You know, they go a very long way into helping your band be successful.
Do you listen to any classic prog rock like Rush, Pink Floyd, Styx, Yes, etc.?
Sure, why not? I mean, a little bit of Pink Floyd. Dark Side of the Moon, obviously, from an engineering standpoint, was just a magnificent sounding record. I like old Rush as well, like the pre-1980 stuff. I really like 2112, that kind of stuff. So yeah, absolutely.
Are you inbred? It's guitars that have no sense of time signatures or basic subdivision grids. You can't know the difference between 5/4, 5/2, 10/8, 10/4, 5/16, etc. You obviously understand 4, or how 3, 6, 4, and 12 are 1. Shuffles and 6/8 Afro-Cuban. Dude, if I ever see you, I'll punch you out.
And the award for Internet Tough Guy goes to this dude! Congratulations, pussy! All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support. If you do want to support the channel, there's 2 basic ways you can do it. You can head up the Spectre Media shop. We've got all kinds of shirt designs and some new hat designs as well. Definitely worth taking a look at. And if you like the Fearless Gear reviews and you'd like to see more of those, hit up my Patreon, because I'm going to use that to fund the Fearless Gear reviews, where I can go out and buy the gear and do independent reviews from a professional standpoint that's not influenced by outside advertisers. If you guys would like to see more of that, hit up my Patreon. The link is in the description below. Thanks so much for your support. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out of here.